On the show now is Patrick "The Brick" Brady, who's going to be taking on Yimaz Wildman next on February the 3rd for the vacant Art of War heavyweight title. Patrick, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Paul. What's up, man?
I appreciate you joining me. I know it's fight week, so I got to imagine all the hard work is behind you now. How's your body feeling as we dial down these last couple days?
Um, my body feels good, man. I feel good. Yesterday we did a circuit, right? So Monday before the fight, I usually have like an MMA class Monday during camp. But last night, for anybody who has a fight, Monday is the circuit before your fight. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll basically just be working combos on a bag, nothing crazy. I'll elevate my heart rate a couple times just to get it going, but for the most part, the work is done, and there's really nothing I could do now to change the outcome. I will watch some footage of my opponent just to kind of put my head in that space, and yeah, man, it's fight week, so everything, all the work is done. I got my house torn up though. That's one thing I am doing. I'm doing a little bit of work at my house.
Okay.
So, yeah, I tore down some walls and got a little bit going on here, but that's normal for me.
So you're pretty handy around the house. You can fix things and do some projects
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah. Well, I have a renovations company, Renovations by Brady. So this is pretty much what I do. I do home renovations, bathrooms, basements, kitchens, additions, all types of stuff. So I had a little bit of break in my schedule to where I could get some stuff done that the wife wanted done. And I'm making light of it, but I tore down some walls and it's a little extensive, but it's all good. It's all good, man.
How do you balance the job with the training? Is that tricky?
It's very tricky. That is the key, right? Um, a lot of pro fighters are just pro fighters, right? Like but if that's the lifestyle that you're going to choose, there is an entire lifestyle with that. And there's not a lot of money in fighting earlier in your pro career. And, and sometimes even later in your pro career, there's just, it's not a very lucrative bit. 90% of the fighters out there. That being said, it's on me to provide for my family, and I do that through my company, and that's what kind of keeps the lights on. And fighting, while it is my passion, it doesn't pay my bills. So I'm very fortunate that I can kind of make my own schedule because I am my own boss. But for the most part, it's Renovations by Brady, and then fighting, and then I'm a dad. I have three sons, a husband. So that whole balance thing that you're talking about, that's the hard part. That's the hardest part of what I do, for sure.
Well, you are 4-0 as a professional mixed martial artist. So your career is going really good. If you get this win, who knows, maybe another one. Maybe you don't even need to get 2 or 3 more wins. You could be knocking on the door of making it into the UFC. Is that something that you're thinking about or preparing for? Because obviously, once you get to that late level, hopefully money will be a little bit different for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it is the direction that I'm going in, right? Like, I'm not content with where I am now in my MMA career. Like, ultimately the goal is the UFC, and for me it's just the UFC. Like, I don't have any other promotions in mind that I want to fight for. It's kind of just UFC or bust for me. I view them as, the NFL of MMA. So um that's the direction that I'm going in. And I'm with Iridium Sports Agency, Jason House, who, it's no secret that he has the largest clientele list in the UFC, right? I mean, he's got multiple fighters on every card. And it's his contention that, 2023 is my year. So, whether or not, I don't know how many more wins I'm going to need. I don't know what that's going to look like or how that all happens. Um, but his advice to me is keep fighting and keep winning, and I'll do my job.
Mm.
So, that's the plan. And, Yimaz Wildman is kind of just, another opponent on, in my way, so he is tough though. He's a tough kid, man. He's really tough. He's a tough opponent. And I think he's gonna come in overweight, which my coach has kind of prepared me for. Uh, you know, I don't like the idea of fighting someone that is that much heavier than me, 265 is the weight limit. He missed his last fight. He weighed in at 271. So
Mm.
I don't know what that's going to look like if he misses weight. Like, I don't know how I'm going to respond to that. It's kind of one of the open-ended questions that, like, do I want to fight somebody that's that much heavier than me? So I guess I have to cross that bridge if I get to it.
What do you walk around at?
So right now I'm 254, um, which is typically like what I weigh in at. Like, I don't think I've ever weighed over 255, and I've never weighed under 247. So I'm kind of like in that sweet spot, right? Like, most of the heavyweights are kind of like right in the range of where I am. There is a select few, UFC heavyweights that have to cut to make 265, but most of the guys are kind of like right where I am.
Yeah, that seems to be like a really good spot to be in to kind of maintain the power that you have, but also be quicker than some of these other bigger heavyweights because obviously.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that, ultimately, if he does miss weight, I have that choice to make. If I'm that much lighter than him, maybe I'm that much faster than him. But it I don't really like to think about it too much because it's his obligation to make weight. Like, he's under contract to not be over 265. So we'll see what happens.
So there's a chance if he doesn't make weight, I mean, you could still take the fight, but it might not be for the title.
No, I mean, if he misses weight and I win, then I get the title. If he misses weight and he wins, he wouldn't get the title. Like, so I would be the only one who could win the title.
I know, Patrick, you got a couple of monsters as training partners, the Dawkins brothers.
Yeah,
Talk about being to the UFC at the highest level, man. Those guys could tell you all about it. What are they
yeah.
telling you about how you're looking? What do they tell you about your next steps in their career from their eyes?
I mean, they're my brothers, right? Like, they're right there with me. They're every step of the way. They're teaching me what they know, and I'm giving them good luck in return. They're confident in my abilities. Everybody around me would not be putting me into any type of situation that they didn't think I could handle. If they didn't think I could win this fight, it your ego is not your friend in MMA, right? You should not take fights that you don't think you can win. Right? It doesn't make sense. If you don't think you can win a fight and you honestly believe that you can't win a fight, you shouldn't take it. Right? It just doesn't make sense. And my coach and my teammates would tell me that, like, yo, you shouldn't take this fight. You can't win it. Like, just better than you. That's not the message that I'm getting. They're confident in what they think I can do uh, in this particular fight. So we're all on board, and we working what we've been working to get ready for this fight, and we plan to implement it on Friday night.
I got to ask you, being from the Philadelphia area, what's the prediction for Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl?
I think the Eagles win. Their defense, man, I'll tell you what, they get to the quarterback, like, and they've shown that, like, they will get to the quarterback. So I think that they can win this game. Obviously, I think Mahomes had a hurt ankle, right, and in his last game, so that might slow him down a little bit. And if they can get to him, then they can win the game. I mean, that seems to be like the recipe. If the team gets to the quarterback, they can win. You saw what happened when the Patriots were undefeated that year, going into the Super Bowl against the Giants, and the Giants got to Tom Brady, and that's all it takes, man. So I
Don't
think the Eagles, if they get to,
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't remind me. I'm from Maine.
yeah,
I'm a diehard
yeah,
Patriots fan. Well, and that leads me to another question,
yeah,
Patrick. Your last name is Brady, my favorite player of all time. Are you related
yeah.
to the GOAT? I have to ask.
I mean, I don't know that I am specifically, but I guess it's possible, right? We share the same last name. We're from the same region of the country. I've never done like the 23andMe or anything, but anything's possible. My family is pretty big, so it's possible. I don't know though. I've never, you know,
Okay,
never done any work on it to find out, but I mean,
gotcha.
I'm better looking than them.
There you go. You can always just
Better
tell
looking
people,
than
yeah,
them.
yeah, he's a distant cousin. No one will question you
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
one. Let's talk about this event again. It's February 3rd. It's this Friday, Art of War 28. It's in Philadelphia. With you and just your team having so much support in the area, hometown crowd, a lot of people cheering for you. Does that add extra pressure on you as a fighter?
Um, I think there's pressure no matter what. And I think knowing that there's pressure is healthy, right? I don't think there's any extra pressure. You always want to win, and you always feel that pressure, uh, the anxiety to win. And I think that's totally normal. I actually just had this conversation with Andre Petrowski, a good friend of mine, and he's like, "Yeah, man, that's normal." Like we talked about the first 2 minutes of the fight and what I'm gonna do, and because of like any fight, the first minute until you get comfortable, you don't really have your legs under you. It's a weird feeling. You kind of have to like get your legs, your knees feel weak, and it's a little awkward. But once you get comfortable, like me specifically, after I get hit, then I get comfortable. Like it's weird. Sometimes I got to get touched
Mhm.
in order to like, okay, let's settle in. Like I felt that I'm good to go now, or in a bad position. If I get in a bad position, I'm able to get out of it. Then I'm like, okay, all right, we got something here. We're good.
Now, obviously, Yimaz, he's 5-2. He's got a similar
Uh,
record to you, minus the fact that you don't have any losses. You're undefeated, but he's
yeah,
got
yeah,
four finishes, man. Do you feel like he's going to present a big challenge for you in this fight, or do you feel like you're going to be able to
yeah. I mean,
do your
yeah,
thing?
absolutely. I think he's dangerous, right? I really do think he's dangerous. He fights when he's tired, right? Like I've noticed, even when he's tired, he fights. He could be exhausted and he will throw punches, which is a problem, for anyone. Like sometimes when guys get tired, they look to recover, right? He's not looking to recover, he's looking to fight. Now that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing for me because if he's tired and he's throwing, he's probably not throwing technically and I can counter and catch him. But if he's tired and he's throwing and I'm tired and I'm not, then I'm on the short end of that stick. So um it's a fun fight, man. This is a fun fight, and I think it's the fight that I need to prove um, that I deserve to be on the next level. I think, and the two losses he had were both decisions, right? And both of the decisions, I think he probably could have edged out and won, but he lost his mouthpieces in both fight, his mouthpiece in both fight, and he lost points as a result. So he may have won those fights. Like if you take away the fact that he lost points for his mouthpiece, like he should be 7-0. So like he's fucking tough, man. He's a tough kid, and he's younger than me. So he's tough.
Do you think you finish him? How do you envision this fight ending?
I like to see a finish in the second round. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it happens in the second. I think the first round I'm gonna get comfortable, and then in the second round, I'm gonna make him uncomfortable. So that's what I think happens.
Now, Patrick, for anyone that can't be there in person, how can they watch it online? Is there a stream?
Yeah, there's a stream. A little hesitant to say because I had butted heads a little bit with them. Um, but there's the Star Fund app. Star Fund, they are a streaming service that they offer the Art of War events. So yes, it will be streamed.
Okay, very good. Well, I won't be able to be in Philly come fight night, but I'll definitely have to tune in and watch you with this title fight, man. I really appreciate you doing this, joining me for the
Thank you,
first
Ron.
time. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. Please tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have any sponsors, anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so follow me on Instagram is Hev Weight Brady. That's HEV Weight WEIGHT Brady BRADY. Um, my sponsors Apollo Prion, Auto Sales on Delsey Drive in Seoul, New Jersey. I got Primal Nutrition. I got Antrim Electric. I got Performance Meal Prep. They hook me up with all my food, and they really take care of me. Um, Worldwide Restoration, Executive Tree Care. I really have a good core group of sponsors around me that look out for me and take care of me. So, thank you.